Right. Well, here we are in the beginning of the episodes. There's the bell. Class
bell,
has started.
yeah.
Class has started. My name is Aaron.
And I'm Chris.
And this is the County Gamers. And we did this in the other podcast, on the Nerd podcast for one of our episodes. And it revealed some interesting results. I'll share those with you momentarily if you haven't already listened to the episode. But the question that we started with on that podcast was, how do you like your pizza? And so that's the question that's on the table. Chris, how do you like your pizza?
Okay, well, since I'm a vegetarian now.
What?
Yeah.
How? Why? Why
Well,
have you?
okay.
What? Who hurt you?
Okay, I stopped eating meat. Okay, let me rephrase that.
I love how this is going.
Yeah.
How do I say this? I don't know.
So I tried to stop eating meat, and I can quit eating meat,
Okay.
but a lot of the stuff my wife buys has meat in it.
Right.
Honey, I'm not blaming this on you.
There's a lot of qualifications happening right now in this statement. We've been at it for maybe a minute 20, and we've already had 16 different apologies and excuses. Okay, continue.
So I like vegetables on my pizza.
Okay.
So there's one by a company called Open Nature. You can get it at Safeway.
Okay.
It's called the roasted vegetable pizza.
Okay.
That is absolutely my favorite pizza of all
Roasted
time.
vegetable pizza.
I love it.
What vegetables are on this pizza?
Oh, it's got broccoli. It's got everything.
Our entire audience just threw their headphones across the room.
Yeah, they did.
Excuse me? Broccoli on pizza? I repeat the question. Who hurt you? Why?
I don't know.
All the things to put on pizza.
Oh, I know.
I mean, I enjoy a good broccoli and a
yeah.
side of ranch every so often.
Oh, my goodness.
But on my pizza?
Oh, I love it.
Chris, how long has this been going on? I'm concerned for you.
I don't know. Like, I thought, and I was still eating meat at the time when my wife bought me this pizza, but it just tastes better than any other pizza I've ever put in my mouth. It is so good.
Again, our audience has rethrown their headphones across the room. Out of the best pizza is broccoli pizza, says Chris. Okay, well, that's different. Well, so that's amusing to me because on the other podcast, it was myself, it was James, and it was a gentleman named Dallas. He's one of the co-owners of Zazie Cafe now that Robert sold the building or sold the business. So Dallas is a fellow nerd like all of us.
Oh, cool.
And so we asked the question, how do you like your pizza? And it started with Dallas, and then it went to James, and then it went to me. And Dallas was like, pineapple is cool. James was like, me too. And I was like, me three. There is not a lot of people that like pineapple on their pizza, and there is a contested argument consistently on the internet about does pineapple belong on pizza, and I firmly believe that yes, pineapple belongs on pizza. You shouldn't discriminate based upon. Although I would discriminate with the broccoli because good, sweet, merciful Moses, you just know why. So, and the best part of that conversation is James was like, well, if you like thin crust pizza, you're a communist. And I was like, well, all right then, let's do this.
I'm a communist.
I'm a communist. I think it's because of the crispiness.
Yeah.
When you're eating it, it's like a snap, and it's not as heavy.
Exactly. Yep.
So I love meat lovers. Like I will never be able to go to vegetarian ever in my life.
Yep.
Like it'll just never happen because I love bacon too much. I love steak and I love hamburger.
Yeah.
I love it all. So I would be very hard pressed to do that. However, I will take the bet because I feel like I've made fun of you a lot in the last 4 minutes of this opening. I will now. So where do I get this broccoli pizza? Is it Safeway?
Safeway, yeah. Yes, it is. But it's not just broccoli. It has bell peppers on it. It's got a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah, because that makes it better. That's perfect.
Does.
Yeah, that's going to make it better. That's going to cover up the broccoli taste on my pizza. Well, now that you've discovered that we have an enemy of the pizza regime in the room, this is going to be great. We're going to have fun today. And if you're out there in the world, if you're listening, we would be delighted to know how you like your pizza and how much therapy you think Chris needs right now based upon his pizza choice with red peppers and broccoli.
Oh,
of all the unholy things you could have brought on this show.
It's better than it sounds, man. I'm telling you. It is so. I love broccoli anyway. I can eat it raw. I love it.
We'll be right back for the County Gamers. I need a minute to recover from this. We'll be back. We're going to talk about this upcoming year in gaming and stuff we're playing and what we want to play. It'll be a deep dive for a little bit. So stick around, hold on, strap in, keep all your hands and feet inside the ride at all times. The County Gamers. We'll be back in just a moment. Okay, well, I've recovered. I've had my Wusa moment. I've centered my chakra. I'm doing all the things to try and restore balance to my troubled force. My Jedi senses just exploded in like a Alderaan-sized bomb of pain upon Chris's pronunciation that I am still gonna have a hard time getting over this. Broccoli on pizza? This is a tragedy. This is a controversy. I'm calling somebody somewhere for this one. All right, so 2022 is off to a start. We are 16 days in, and Chris and I we both will freely, I think, admit that we have to get better at like looking at new games, like getting into that world.
Yeah.
I will freely admit and say this, and Chris will back me up on this. Being able to keep up with gaming can be an expensive process because, especially if you don't have a Game Pass or you don't like I just have Steam, I don't have EA, I don't have any of those. I mean, I have those platforms, but I don't have the Game Passes that you pay monthly for.
Yep.
So I have bought games like piecemeal. Like I've bought the new games or whatever games on my own without a Game Pass. And so for you out there, if you're listening, if you're like, man, they talk about all these games, I just can't afford them all. Don't worry, we don't either. Like
we can't either.
we pick and choose our games very carefully of what we're going to purchase. So as we go through these lists of current games we're playing and games we're looking to play and that are coming out, hear us loud and clear. This is not a situation where you should go out and buy all these games and pre-order them and like feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not a good enough gamer because I don't have all the games these guys are talking about. Trust me, we don't either. We don't either. Chris has a Game Pass through Xbox, I believe.
Yep, Xbox.
So he's been able to play some of those games there. So don't take this as, and I want to be very clear in that because gaming is expensive.
Yeah,
and to keep and especially now with the rigs and how much it's costing for processors and GPUs, it's a Herculean task to get yourself a good strong gaming PC that isn't going to cost you an arm and a leg to try and build on your own or get a pre-built from somewhere else. You really got to have friends in high places to pull that off. So hear that loud and clear. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the shortages and the supplies will get better. An interesting note, which I read, I'm going to find it here in a second. There was a little blurb I was reading on many of the websites that I was looking up, is that the PS5, Sony, has, which amused me more than anything in the world, they are making more PS4s to make up for the PS5 situation. That's how bad things are. So they're churning out more PS4s because there's not, like, you go on Amazon, you go to Walmart, you can't find a PS5.
Nowhere.
And if you do, they are like $1,000. They are not cheap. Yep. And so what makes me just, I don't want to say laugh because that's a pretty jerky thing to do, but it amuses me that the PS5 was supposed to be like the holiday gaming. It was going to be amazing. But a new report, according to GameInformer.com, on January 12th, 2022, they said a new report says Sony is making more PS4s to deal with the PS5 shortage.
Oh, my goodness.
Which is really interesting because you think about, like, the Xbox Series X and that was the big deal.
Yep.
And it's like we're still, like, there's been no announcement that the PS5 shortage is going to be taken care of. Like, they're on their way. And it's a lot of what the thing, I think the challenge is a lot of these new games we're going to talk about, a lot of them are being built and made for the PS5 and the next gen systems.
Yep.
And so you've got this weird, and again, it's a pandemic thing. It is. You've got all these cool games, and you either got to have a super high powered gaming rig to to play these, or a PS5, and no one has them because they're so short. Yep. That article comes out of the preview for Horizon Forbidden West, which is coming out on February 18th, and we will talk about that momentarily.
Oh, also,
yes,
the PS5 is backwards compatible. So why are they building
PS4s
when it's backwards compatible?
Well, no one ever has accused Sony of making much sense in their lifetime.
Yeah.
God bless Sony if you're listening. The Sony people, the ears in the Sony world.
I love Sony.
You're lovely folks. You've given us an incredible gaming a lot of gaming platforms and a lot of good. But sweet merciful heavens and all those things. Sometimes I wonder about y'all. Let's first talk about games we're playing right now, and then we'll jump into the 2022. So you have continued to play the game No Man's Sky.
Oh my goodness!
And last we talked, you were enthralled. You were enjoying it beyond measure.
Oh my goodness!
What's the update? How are we doing? What's the latest on the Chris No Man's Sky update?
So I have figured out that if you want to go for a star and you see a big bright shiny object, figure out how far away it is. So I'll just go after it. I flew that thing for 45 minutes trying to get to this
45 minutes?
45 minutes. I just got up and walked upstairs. I just let my ship go.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was 45 minutes, and I still didn't make it to the stars. So I just started a new game, and this time I did it differently, though.
Right.
I took all the information I knew from before and applied it, and now I'm like advancing pretty quickly in the game. So,
because you can warp to different planets when you add stuff in. Like
so cool. This game is so cool.
I'm glad you figured that out, because that would have just been. I would have been like, "Oh, Chris, you didn't know how to do that, and you've been doing it for a week."
Goodness gracious!
So you figured it out. That's good.
Yeah, it was just that. I mean, it was so far away that it took a long time.
Yeah.
It was crazy how long that took, and I really want to go to that planet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to fill up with some stuff, and I'm going to get over
there. You're going to
to
get your warp drive ready to rock and roll.
I am.
Anything else about that game that really has impressed you a lot besides all the stuff we talked about previously?
I think it's the different environments.
Yeah.
Because they can take and they'll wait till I'm halfway to the base.
Yeah.
And then a storm comes.
Yep.
And I have nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
Like every darn time it happens. But yeah, I think for me the amazing part about that game is the different environments, the way that they look.
Yeah.
And the way that like everything feels different. Like you know how when you're in the cold, like your visor starts to freeze over.
Yeah.
Well, when it's poison, or toxic gas, it's like this green.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yep.
That game is just it's amazing.
Yeah. They have done an incredible job of crafting the environments and the feel of what you hear and see, and how your character, your avatar experiences the various different planetoids and different planet and area, stuff like that. I played it a little bit this last week, and just for me it's just like I play it on creative. I don't play it on competitive. I just play it with like I'm invincible and I don't have to worry about supplies. But what I found is that I just like to wander around.
Yeah, me too.
And I just go from planet to planet, and it was interesting. I discovered, and it was one of those things where there's not many things in the game that send me having to search on the internet for something, because most of it's like I can figure it out.
Yeah.
But I arrived in this. I warped into this galaxy or this planet area, whatever, and there was a space station, but the space station didn't look like a regular space station. It looked like it had been beat up. I was like, I have never seen a space station in No Man's Sky destroyed. Like I was like, what's going on? So I go in, I land, and it's like the landing sites are all red. The lights are all down. There's a burn kind of sound going on. I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I land. My ship lands. I get out. And it's not like the space stations we have now that we see in No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
It's different. And I was like, this is very strange. Like, and so I look around and it looks damaged and it's okay. I was like, okay. So, and I didn't know. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go look. So I Google it. And this is what happened. That is what the space stations used to look like layout wise. And they were fully functional. They were lighted up and everything. But what the developers did is, for certain places that you go into, they left the old design of the space stations, and then they made them as like destroyed space stations that had been taken over or abandoned or blown up or something.
Oh, cool.
And so like the old design before the refresh of No Man's Sky, the space stations looked like that and had very little environments to explore. And then when they updated it, they basically redid the entire space station layout. So there's a lot more to do. There's a lot more to engage with. So it was kind of one of those moments of like, I didn't find a secret, but I found a piece of the past of that game. And it's only been around 4 years. But it's like, they actually took the time as developers to go, we're going to leave these little Easter eggs so that as a player you go, that's what came before.
Oh, man, cool.
So, yeah, it was kind of nice. I also found, so as you play through the game and you go to space stations, you can buy and make a bid on ships that are in the dock.
Yeah, I know.
And I've spent many games trying to find the exotic ship designs because they're different. They're different than the normal whatever. Yeah. And I found one finally this last week, and it's like this little sphere, and it's got like a fin, but it rotates when it flies, and it becomes like wings. It's awesome. And so I bought that ship, and I put it on my freighters, and I'm like, I'm not going to lose this ship. But that's part of what is fun about this game is that you could just basically wander around the universe looking for ships to buy.
Yeah.
And have fun with that and upgrade, and then you could do trading, but you can also do fighting. And so
they're expensive too.
Yeah. Yes. Man, yes. If you're playing in the real world survival, you got to work to earn those credits to be able to buy those ships. Yeah. I just like it because it allows me to not have to be competitive. Like it gives me a creative mode where I can do my own sandbox thing, and I don't have to think about, I got to get the food, or I got to get the supplies, or I got to get whatever. Like I can just wander around the stars. And I like that because I'm not a competitive guy. The only 2 games that I play that are really competitive is Ghost Recon, Breakpoint, and then I play the Division 2.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing that, and that game, I don't know if you've had the experience, Chris, and probably our listeners have, but when you're playing a game and you get mad at the game because it's making it so hard for you, I get mad at the Division 2 because I'm not competitive. I don't go in a game to sharpen my skills. I go in to have fun. Yep. And so more than once playing the Division 2, I go up against a boss and I just get smacked. I get beat up and I die. I die at least 3 or 4 times and I get mad. And it reminds me of when I used to play computer games that were competitive. I would get mad. I'd be like, ah! And I'm just like, I will only allow myself to play those games because I know that eventually I'll get it, or the game will adjust to me because they'll give me more health packs or whatever. The game knows, okay, Aaron's died 5 times. Okay, we got to get this to him. We got to figure out a way. And so what'll happen is I'll eventually get it, but I don't play a lot of those games because of the frustration level. We talk like rage quitting.
Yeah,
I've been a part of and involved in that too much in my previous world life. I don't play games that are that way anymore because then I'll just, I want to play to enjoy.
Yeah,
and we've talked about that. We've talked about that. Like it's not. I don't play multiplayer games because I don't want to rage quit. I don't want to have that feeling. So that is our update on No Man's Sky.
Yes, very good game.
It's a lot of fun. There are 2 games that I have recently discovered that I have enjoyed. Chris had no idea what they were. One was a gift to me. A friend I used to work with and knew his wife in Starbucks. The game is called the Dyson Sphere Program. It's the Dyson Sphere Program. And it is basically you create a Dyson sphere. You build a planet and all that stuff. And the ratings, it's been out since January 20th, 2021. So it just came out. It came out last year. And the ratings currently on recent and all reviews is overwhelmingly positive.
Oh, darn.
There's not a lot of games on Steam that meet that standard. No, so it's called the Dyson Sphere Program. It is an early release. It's about $20. So I've just started playing pieces of it. My friend sent the gift to me and was like, yeah, good luck reclaiming your social life back after this. So it's one of those games where it's just like you keep playing it because it's so much fun. Yeah. So I have discovered it. I'm playing it a little bit. My goal is next weekend is to play a little more of it and to kind of play around with it a little bit. So Dyson Sphere Program, it's been out for about a year. I've heard about it. I've seen pieces of it, but it's an involved game. It's a lot of fun. There's a new update coming. The Icarus Evolution apparently is coming to a major update, so they're going to be doing that as well. So that's a fun game. If you're interested in world building, if you're interested in like city building and things like that, the Dyson Sphere Program definitely will hit that need in you.
Looks good.
The other game that I've been messing with and I discovered is a game called Sailwind. So Sailwind is a sailing simulator featuring realistic sailing physics and a vast open world to explore. It is in early release, early access. Wow. It's $20, so again, it's not an expensive one, but it is a lot of fun. I've played about 20 to 30 minutes. It came out October 18th, 2021, and you basically you have missions where you have to transport things from city to city or town to town. and the graphics are very simplistic. They're not high end yet, but they are 3D. I think they're made using the Unity engine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you have to shape your sail, and the controls are very like you manual, and you do all these things. And there's a lot of different models of ships that you can upgrade to as you get better. But it's kind of just a relaxing game. Like, I just sat there and I played with it. You can fish, apparently, once you get a fishing pole. You can do that. It has a night-day cycle. It's got very positive reviews so far. Some folks who have kind of attacked it are like, it's not worth the $20. I'm like, look, EA charges us $60 for some AA games that are crap. So don't be harsh on a $20 game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very interesting. It's got a lot of possibility, I think. They're doing regular updates. They had an update in November and an update in December, so I'm guessing they're going to have one in January. It's just, full realistic sailing physics. You have to reef the sails in heavy weather, keep track of the direction of the wind, watch out for the ever-changing weather and waves, like 6 different boats of different sizes and sail planes to choose from. So there's a lot of fun. You can do survival. You have to eat. You have to drink. There's a lot of different things in there, and it's been a lot of fun. Like I'm an easygoing guy. I don't like to play the crazy, first-person shooters and MMOs. I just like to have some fun. So it's a nice, relaxing game. It'll get you where you need to get.
Yeah. And
you'll feel all right with that. Before we jump into the 2022 game possibilities, do you have any other games you want to talk about real quick?
There was one, but I can't remember what it was. The old age is getting the best of me.
It happens.
It does, yeah.
Well, we talked about Plague Tale. Which we're going to talk about the sequel here in a little bit. I have never played. I have seen the Plague Tale. I think I got it mixed up with a bunch of other games that were similar, like World War games and stuff. It actually looks interesting, and I know it's gotten a lot of good reviews.
It's cool.
So I've put the Plague Tale on my list of things to look into. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to shift into looking into 2022, and we got some lists of games that we want to talk about just how much more exciting the gaming future holds for us.
Hopefully.
Oh, God. Please let it be good.
I hope it's
Please let it happen.
Yeah.
There is a game that is coming from Square Enix, and I think we talked about it before, but it's called Forspoken.
Ooh, yeah.
And it's an RPG exploration parkour female protagonist, and it's coming on May 24th. I am not pre-ordering that sucker. You can't make me, Square Enix. Don't even try.
Nope.
But it's the videos that I've seen that a young New Yorker, transported to the beautiful and cruel land of Athea. So, in search of a way home, she must use her newfound magical abilities to traverse sprawling landscapes and battle monstrous creatures. The previews and the kind of the stuff we're looking at looks really interesting. Graphically, it looks all right. I'm very curious to see how it continues to develop. But it looks like a lot of fun. It looks like it's going to be, and I love role-playing games. I love being able to make decisions and being able to kind of choose my own way. So I'll be very curious to see how Forspoken. Square Enix is a mixed bag sometimes with their games that they put out, and there's kind of just like concern that, is this going to be good, or is this going to be another, whatever. So it's exploration. It doesn't quite say open world, so I don't know how exactly it's going to work. The thing that really has me nervous is currently the pre-purchase is running at $70.
Holy moly.
So they must think really highly of themselves with this game.
They all do.
To do a pre-purchase for $70.
Oh my goodness.
I wouldn't throw $70 down on a pre-purchase.
Nope.
I wouldn't. You couldn't. No.
You buy a lot of food for $70.
Right. And so then they're also offering, what else do they have? They have a DLC, the deluxe upgrade, which means you'll get like a season pass or something. The bundle with the base game and then the season's pass, $94.99, almost $100.
Ouch!
This is where Square Enix tends to get in a little bit more trouble because they seem to think they're all that in a bag of chips, and they may be in some games, but here it's just like, so $100 for that.
It's not even out yet.
Yeah, it's not. We've got like what, 5 months to go before we hit May. Like this better be gold, like certified, delivered, signed, sealed, delivered. So I'm looking forward to it. It's coming for the PlayStation 5 and PC. So obviously we will see it as PC players before our poor PlayStation 5 folks will see it. But I'm interested. I think I will wait until I see some people playing it, do some gameplay playthroughs and see what kind of kicks out. But I'm a single player. I love single player games. I love to explore worlds, and I love a good story. And so Forspoken, maybe it'll be something.
Yeah.
What is a game on your list, Chris?
Horizon Forbidden West.
Okay, yeah, that's a fun one. So the original was Horizon Zero Dawn, correct?
Yes, very good game.
And this is a mark against me. I have not played Horizon Zero Dawn.
Ooh, I love that game.
And when I originally saw it, like when it came out and all the reviews were coming out, it was like, oh my gosh, that's legit. It's it's from the PlayStation Studios, so it originally originated on the PC on the PlayStations, but now it's on PC. It's been on PC since about August 7th, 20. So 2 years, August 7th, 2020, and it is a very, very incredible game, like storyline, design wise, character wise, just game mechanics wise. When it came out, people were blown away. The gaming world kind of was like, oh, like, there's a disturbance in the force. This is so good.
It was really good. Yeah.
The way that they designed the monsters, the way that they designed the world, the way that the world interacted, and there was inferences to a post-apocalyptic Earth that may have come before.
Oh, it's cool.
And they give hints to the possibilities, but they don't really tell you. You have to kind of figure it out on your own. And there's puzzles in the game.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. So Horizon Zero Dawn is on my list of games that I would like to play. It's on my wish list on Steam. I think I missed the sale opportunity over Thanksgiving probably by a minute. But I'm looking to explore it. So there's Horizon Zero Dawn is that, but the sequel that you're referring to is Horizon Forbidden West. What is it? And here's an interesting thing. What I'm seeing on Game Informer is Horizon Forbidden West is currently only for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
I don't see it. Are they not going to put it on Steam first?
I don't think they are. No, it could be just like maybe a PlayStation only title.
Oh, one of them,
which is going to suck.
That's just down. That they're playing dirty.
They're cutting out half their audience right there.
My guess is what they'll do is it's probably a PlayStation like special, like you only can get on PlayStation, and then like a year later, they'll throw it out hopefully on PC because there's a lot of people who would play that on PC. So PS5, PS4 only. What is it about this game you're looking forward to?
Well, so let's see. The first one that I played, the Zero Dawn. What I liked about it was you're in this
that too, as you do,
post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah,
like Aaron said, and it's interesting because you have this little visor.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to explain. You have to play the game to understand what I'm talking about. But it kind of shows you pieces of the past.
Oh, okay.
So you go up to a ship that's like covered in grass and weeds and trees, and it's something from the past that is like some I don't know if it's alien or not, but it's something from the past, and it's old, and you're trying to figure out what actually happened. Mm-hmm. And so they've got like these little mechanized birds and all this kind of weird little, like they look like little robo-raptors.
Okay.
Little robo-velociraptor.
Okay.
And then they got these bigger monsters that are a little harder to kill because I run right down the middle.
Okay.
That's me.
Okay.
I never sneak around. Run down the middle.
You're not a stealth guy?
No. Run down the middle.
Blow it up.
Blow it up and get rid of it.
Throw the C4 in the middle of the room and just let it go.
That's right. Yep. That's me. But that's what I like about it. It's different. The look of the game and the way that you interact with the world is different.
It allows you that difference.
It is, yeah. It's just a different kind of game.
That's awesome.
It's just really fun.
Okay.
The graphics are amazing.
Woo. Well, and considering they've had 2 years to play around with it and do it, I was looking at some of the articles for that game. One of the articles was saying like the improvements that are coming to the game are like better visuals, better HUD, better stuff that, the game was pretty gosh darn perfect as it was on its own, first of all, the original, but this is giving them a chance to really perfect the design so that gamers can really embrace it and have a lot of fun with it. There was the part of the articles were talking about how they're gonna divert, like the tribes are gonna be very specific, like this tribe and this tribe and that tribe. Like there's a lot more to explore there, which could be definitely very interesting.
More story.
I love me some story.
Yep.
All right, we'll switch over to me for my game. Now this is one that I just kind of stumbled on right now. There's no certain release date, but it's a game that I played when I was like middle school, the first one, and I think I played the second one, but it's Homeworld 3. Now, Homeworld 2 is, I think, available on Steam as well. Homeworld 2, the soundtrack is. Homeworld, the Homeworld Remastered Condition, good Lord. The Homeworld Remastered Collection is available on Steam for $34.99, and I think it includes, I want to say, Homeworld and Homeworld 2. Let me double check this real quick. Oh, no, it only includes Homeworld. It doesn't include Homeworld 2. So Homeworld was a sci-fi game, and it was a space strategy, real-time strategy game. One of the original, granddaddies of it all, and it was a lot of fun to play. Like, it kind of shook up the gaming, the kind of sci-fi world. I'm trying to find the original release date here, because I have memories of playing this, unless of course I'm crazy, and that's only possible. Homeworld, so it came out in 1999.
Oh,
1999. Man. So when we talked about the 90s games, this is one that I forgot about. So it was published by Relic Entertainment, by Sierra was the publisher.
Sierra, ooh.
Yeah, back in the good old flashback.
Oh yeah.
But Homeworld was it redefined and reshook the real-time strategy, and you could control your fleet. You could build an armada. There was 30 single-player missions. I think multiplayer started to be a thing. It was fantastic, and it was the artistic style of how they created the color and the ship design. Yeah, it's legit. It's a legit game, and it's again 1999. The Homeworld. I can't remember if I played Homeworld 2 or not. I'm trying to look at that real fast. I don't think I actually played Homeworld 2, if you can believe it. I think, the Remastered Collection does introduce Relic's acclaimed space strategy games Homeworld and Homeworld 2 to modern players. Okay, so it is included in the Remastered Collection, which I own. I haven't opened it up. But the Homeworld 2 came out in 2003. So this is, again, older games. Both Homeworld and Homeworld 2, they're old. So Homeworld 3 is slated for a 2022 release. And I am very curious to see how they do it and if they do it well enough. Because the danger when you bring an old IP into the new next generation tech is it actually going to be good? That was what killed Command and Conquer. Is they tried to cartooned it up. It became a joke of its own.
It did.
It was just terrible. And so it was done. They shelved it, and we haven't seen Command and Conquer back in years.
Darn it.
The danger with Homeworld is you either do a really great job or you don't. So I'm cautiously optimistic about Homeworld 3. It is a nostalgic game that I have connections to. I just remember playing Homeworld, and it's the soundtrack to Homeworld was just epic. Like it was like I could probably play you some of the music, and I would just let's see if we can find it here. Homeworld.
Always the soundtracks back then.
Yeah. So
good. Let's
see if I can do this real quick. If I can make my. It's always fun when you're trying to do Remastered Collection, complete soundtrack, Homeworld soundtrack. Let's see if we're gonna get an ad.
Great!
I don't want ads. We are not sponsored by anybody. If you want to sponsor us, you're always welcome to it.
Yes.
So here's what it sounds like a little bit.
Huh. Typical awesomeness.
For a little bit.
Uh-oh, here we go.
So you have a lot of that, and it's the Homeworld soundtrack. The original soundtrack is about an hour and 40 minutes long.
Holy moly.
There is a remastered edition soundtrack that someone uploaded as well. But it's a lot of fun. It was a fun little game. I just have a lot of memories of playing that. So Homeworld 3, whenever it hits, it's listed on Steam right now, I believe, there's no date associated with it.
Q4.
What they're saying, and I don't think they're even doing a pre-order at this point, which is good because there's no cost associated. But that goes on my wish list because you look at the screenshots and they look really good.
They do,
really classic. And you only hope that they can deliver on that because it's a really good genre of game, and it deserves the care and love that it can be shown. All right, now over to you. What's another game you're looking for in 2022?
Starfield. Oh, well, okay. Let me rephrase that. Maybe.
Yeah, we had this conversation I think previously about Bethesda, and Starfield is that game where I think it's make or break.
Yeah.
Because
do or die,
because Bethesda's track record post Skyrim has not been good.
Oh my goodness.
And even pre Skyrim, they've been known for Skyrim. Okay, cool, yay.
Yeah.
But they haven't really had a lot of great oh yeah, man, Bethesda's a company I trust with my life. And because they're money hungry and they need to fund their games, they've released Skyrim on every single platform possible, and it's dumb and it's annoying. And I get it. It's a cash grab. I mean, yeah, you can play it on your Nintendo Switch. I don't own a Nintendo Switch, so I don't have that experience. I'm sure there's people out there who love it. I don't. Whatever. Eventually, I'll probably get one, and I'll just love it to death, and it'll be I'll buy Skyrim for my Switch. But it's you want to be hopeful. You want to be like, oh, please be like No Man's Sky, but even cooler. Please be like the Outer Worlds. Please be like come on. And you have to hope that they get the game engine that it's better than anything they've ever done before, and it doesn't have the same issues that they've had since with every single Fallout game, with every single Fallout 76 move they've tried to you just hope. And so I'm with you on that. I'm just I really want a good space game, and No Man's Sky is cool.
Yes.
But it's the more space games we can have, the better. Because I remember playing Wing Commander back in the day, and so I'm hopeful and I'm optimistic, but I'm also kind of oh boy. So we'll see how that shakes out.
I hope so.
My fingers are crossed. Now we're gonna. We're going to jump off the top rope of the wrestling ring. This is a segue. So I am a wrestling fan. I love WWE. Well, okay, I don't love them anymore. I love AWF or AWE now, and there's a bunch of other upstarts that have really taken WWE to task. But the WWE gaming series, for the longest time, was an incredible wrestling game series.
Yeah,
I loved it. Unfortunately, WWE 2K21, 2020, so the software developers, Ukes, they were always a part of the gaming programming process. They made the games with 2K. Well, Ukes was, I think, getting tired, and they weren't able to do what they really wanted to do with the game.
Figures.
And so they left and said, we're going to go do our own game. We're going to go do our own thing. Now, 2K was like, oh, yeah, no, we'll be fine. It's going to be fine. We're going to put out a great game. And everyone's like, I'm sorry, Ukes was the cornerstone of that entire fighting game. They programmed all of they were, and it felt like that Ukes had finally said, look, we're tired of you guys not giving us our due credit. We're done. We're gonna go do something else. And they took their toys and they left.
Can't blame them.
When WWE 2K20 came out, it was a disaster. It still is. They haven't fixed it.
Oh man.
Gaming animations, the bugs were rampant. Nothing worked like it should.
Goodness.
It was very clear what had happened. That the missing piece was Ukes.
Yeah.
And it was an unmitigated disaster. It was disappointing. Fans were furious because they had paid money for this game. They had paid upwards of $50, $60, $70 for this game, and it was a train wreck. It was a disappointment. I don't even think I bought it because I was so nervous. I was like, oh. The last game I have, I think, is WWE 2K19, and it's a good game. I like that game. So my personal hope is 2K22 that they get it fixed because they didn't even have a 21. They didn't release a 2K21 game because it was so bad. They're like, we're going to skip a generation because oops. So my hope is we get a good wrestling game because I love being able to create my own wrestler and like do my own moves and do my own career. And I love that part. I love having my own imagination of, well, this is what Aaron could do if he was a wrestler. So WWE 2K22, its release date is still 2022. There's not actually a definite release date for it right now. Yeah. It's usually supposed to come out in October is when it usually starts to, it usually hits.
Usually, yeah.
So I don't know if they've got a more firm release date. Oh, this has got me nervous. Initial release date is March of 2022. I don't know how I feel about that.
Initial March. Okay.
So they're going to review it and they're going to release it in March. Yeah. So it's listed on the official website. Coming March 2022. Unveils list of features and innovations. It hits different. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. What's interesting is all they have is the teaser trailer with the intros that they showed several like almost 6 months ago. So so you're listening to this, you can't watch this visually. If you go to www.2k.com, all you see is the watch teaser link, and you see the background is playing through that.
Yeah.
And then all you see is coming March 2022. Stay tuned for more details. Hey, 2K, 2K, you there? Hi, good morning. My name is Aaron. I have a question. It's January? We're 3 months, we're less than 3 months away.
You're like right there.
From when the game's supposed to be. Are we going to start talking about these new features? Like, what is happening? What is wrong with you?
Game developer.
I think they know they're in trouble.
Yeah.
So the last post is from November 18th, 2021.
Oh, that's
November 18th, 2021 is the last time they had an update posted on their game website. Here comes the boom. He's back and blah, 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 blah. So it talks about 10 list of features, revamped game engine, new controls, and it's like, okay, well that doesn't really. So here's most anticipated innovations revealed. Redesigned gameplay engine, because the gameplay engine from 2020 was terrible. New controls, which we really don't need new controls, but we just need to actually have controls that work. Stunning graphics, which of course they're going to try and say, oh, we're going to have better graphics, I promise. Immersive presentation. They've always had an immersive presentation. Yep. New WWE 2K showcase. They always have a showcase. It's nothing new. My GM, which means you can actually be a general manager of a show, wrestling show. That's people asking. My faction, which basically means you would be able to design your own faction. My Rise, which I don't know what that is. Universe mode, which is basically you design your WWE universe and you run the shows and all that kind of stuff. And the Creation Suite, which
kind of cool, is
the thing like that. So here's the best part about this. So this is the post from November, right? It says full details to come January 2022. Hi 2K. It's Aaron
January.
Again. It's January. It's January 16th. Where you at, y'all?
Yeah.
Where you at? Because y'all ain't here. So my worry is that we're going to get pushed back. And it's going to be like, well, we're not coming out in March. We're going to come out in November because we don't have a good game. I'm just like, oh, you've got to be joking me. You had so much time to do this.
Yeah.
So that's my worry. My hope is that it's a good game because I love wrestling games. I'm a sucker for wrestling. I love designing my own entrance and having my own music and whatever. All right. Well, there's my WWE fanboy conversation. What else is on your list, Chris?
This game here, my boys actually have. Well, one of my sons has the original.
Okay.
Dying Light 2.
Okay.
He has the original, so the first Dying Light.
Yeah.
And the new one, I scrolled down to the bottom of the page, and I see something that says, where did it go? It was here just a minute ago. It says NVIDIA RTX, which probably means it has ray tracing.
Oh.
And if none of you have ever seen ray tracing, it is a very interesting, the way that the lighting presentation is much, much better.
Yeah.
Minecraft ray tracing edition.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks, oh my goodness, it looks
good.
so much better. So, but I like Dying Light because of the mechanics, the way that it's like a survival game, so you got to go find stuff to survive. It's just a really cool. And the second one, apparently, it comes out February
4th.
Yeah.
So it's coming out. It's less than a month away.
Yeah, it won't be too long. So
here's the interesting thing. I played Dying Light, and I think I might own it on my PS4 somewhere in something. I can't remember how I got it or how I played it. It was okay. I don't remember why I didn't pick it back up again. I think because it didn't feel. I didn't like it. My hope is that they've improved with Dying Light to Stay Human. I hope that I'm able to kind of have more of a freedom to do what I want to do. That I just because I remember playing it, I was like, oh, this is it. Like, okay, I feel really controlled. I've seen some people playing the. We can't. Neither of us can speak today very well.
No, we can't.
It's a Sunday apparently. So like I've seen some people do some gameplay videos of Dying Light 2. And it seems like there's a lot more freedom and a lot more nuts craziness that happens. Yep. So I'm interested to see that game. It's going to be out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch. I don't know how it's going to play on the Switch. Yeah. That's going to be amusing. And also on the PC, which, of course, everything should come out for the PC.
It should.
All right, let's talk about – let's see. What is next on my list? This one, I think we talked a little bit about Elden Ring.
Ooh,
so Elden Ring is in the scheme of the what game series is it in the scheme of? We talked about it at one point. Elden Ring. It is not Dying Light because we just talked about that. Souls-like. There it is. Dark Souls. So
Dark Souls.
It's connected to the Dark Souls kind of world. It is Souls-like dark fantasy RPG. It's apparently very difficult action, but when you look at this on Steam and you look at the design and the color and the character models and you look at all this thing looks incredible. Yeah, it does. And I've watched some gameplay of some people who've been given the access to Elden Ring, like the first couple of chapters of it, and it looks like a blast and a half. I mean, yeah, it looks tough, but it just looks fun. And it already apparently has won. I'm trying to read this because it's really small text. But it's already won like best most wanted game. There it is. There's an award sitting on there on Steam called the most wanted game from somebody. So somebody's want this. Some organization has recognized this as the most wanted game. And there is a section of folks, a significant section of folks who love Dark Souls games. Mm-hmm. I am not one of them. No, I hate them. They make me angry. I'm hopeful that Elden Ring will allow me to experience the Souls-like experience without going full Souls on me, because I have watched people play Dark Souls.
It looks hard, man.
You can't there is almost a lot of rage quitting, but it is. I mean, you learn the hard way how to do it. The cool thing I like about this though is it's labeled an RPG. So there's elements it feels like in the story will allow you to role play a little bit. Yep. Here's the thing that I'm not very thrilled about. Pre-purchase for the Elden Ring, which means it will cost this much when you buy it when it comes out, $60. Not happy. Elden Ring Deluxe Edition, $79. Which means that's their Game Pass, or their you get the DLCs that they sell or whatever. So I'm always kind of worried about that. I will probably wait maybe a month or two after it initially releases. Yep. Save up some money to drop $70 on a game. $60. But here's the thing: people will pay it. Like that's the part of the problem I struggle with is people will pre-purchase the heck out of this thing, and then if it disappoints, then they're in trouble. So I'm hopeful. My fingers are crossed. Elden Ring, the gameplay that I've seen from YouTubers has been respectable, and I do appreciate it. Very much. Okay. Anything else on your list for coming soon?
A Plague Tale Requiem.
Okay. Yeah, we were talking about this before we went on before we started recording. Mm-hmm. So you can credit Chris with this. He introduced me to A Plague Tale today because I had heard about it and I had seen it, but I hadn't actually explored it or tried to get into it and have fun with it. So I have A Plague Tale. It's called Innocence, I think is the first game.
It is.
Plague Tale Innocence. It's $40, which is, I'm okay with that. But this game has a lot of great ratings. 9 out of 10 from GameBlog.
It's worth that.
8 of 10 out from a lot of high ratings. A lot of high people who believe it's worth it. Yep. And there is a DLC, but it's only $1.99.
Cheap, yay!
Which is amazing. I love cheap DLC. So it's on my list to play. What is it about A Plague Tale, the next edition that got you that got to the top of that list?
The first one that I played was very interesting. It was unique. I'd never seen anything like it. So you're in a world where there's back when they had the Black Plague.
Yes.
So it was back in that time, and it's very interesting because there's mice run around everywhere.
Yeah.
If you don't like mice, don't play that game.
Yeah, don't play the game. Okay.
Because they're everywhere.
Good talk.
But it's interesting because you have to sneak around at first to get past guards and stuff to get out in the open world so you can run around and go do tasks. I mean, it's just really weird. It's a very interesting game. I thought it was anyway.
Interesting. So Steam says, is this game relevant to you? It's similar to games you've played. I played apparently Tomb Raider, the one that was released in 2013. Here's the thing about Tomb Raider, the modern Tomb Raiders, is they're very, like, I feel, and here's the thing about this, the ratings on this game, on the Tomb Raider from 2013, is overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
Like this game. But here's the thing, when I played it, it's not very open world.
No,
it's you're basically on a story like a rail, and you're basically going through it. And yeah, it's well designed. I think I didn't like the fact that I had to stay on the path. I'm so used to open world games.
Yeah.
Mind you, the acting and the graphics and the gameplay and the fight mechanics are downright impressive. So if this game is recommending that I play that because I played Tomb Raider, that this might be a game, I'm willing to check it out. I will probably wait until it gets kind of it's been released. There's no cost to it yet that says what's going to cost when it comes out. It's still planned release date is 2022, so there's no firm release date currently listed on Steam. But given the popularity of the previous game, I suspect this one's going to be a Rockstar game. People are going to love it.
Don't jack it up, Devs.
Yeah, please don't. we want it. We want it in one piece.
Yeah, they had a really good game. It was a phenomenal game.
Yeah. Okay, so what else is on my list here? So the game that I want to get on Steam is a game that finally came to Steam from the PlayStation world, which is God of War.
Oh yeah.
So God of War finally came out on January 14th, 2022, just literally 2 days ago. It came out because they ported it over to PC. And the reviews out of 8,217 is overwhelmingly positive.
Darn.
People have been waiting for this game to come to the PC for years. And
it's a good game.
I watched the gameplay when it was on PlayStation, and I was like, this is incredible. Yeah. This is crazy good. So it's also on my wish list of games that I'm eventually going to pick up. It's $50. My understanding is that it's absolutely worth it. So that's another game to be thinking about. It's already been released, but I think there's another God of War sequel coming. God of War Ragnarok is coming as well. Yeah. The original was in 2018, so God of War's more intimate reinvention of its hack and slash combat was a blast. So we can't wait to take on Thor or any other Norse deity. So it's going to be about Norse.
Oh yeah,
stuff like that, which will be interesting.
Kill them all.
Yep. So there's also a game, and then I'll switch back over to you if you've got any more, called Gotham Knights.
Ooh.
And I scrolled through and I was looking at different like hey, what else is out there? And yep, it's on. It is okay. So it is coming soon. It doesn't have a release date even for 2022, but on the website I'm reading, which I believe is Game Informer, its release is 2022. It's for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And it says, as cool as it is to clean up Gotham as Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, and Red Hood, the real reason we're psyched about Gotham Knights boils down to 3 words: Court of Owls. Confronting this terrifying secret society in a video game is a dream come true for Batman fans, and it helps that the combat looks like a comparable, if not flashier, take on the stellar Arkham battle system, which, yes, that battle system is legit. I still go back to those games. They're so much fun. Punching our way through anything the court throws alongside a buddy only sweetens this bat-tastic package. So it's a co-op, which will be interesting to see how if I really want to play that. Yeah. But yeah, Batman is dead. A new expansive criminal underworld has swept the streets of Gotham. No. It is now up to the Batman family, Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin to protect Gotham. So it's an interesting idea. Cool. It's coming to us from Warner Brothers Games, which again, their Arkham series was incredible.
It's very good.
It is an incredible series that just absolutely boggles the mind. So it's an open world action RPG set in the most dynamic and interactive Gotham City yet. Patrol Gotham's 5 district boroughs in solo play. Thank goodness they're doing solo play. With one other hero and drop in on criminal activity whenever you find it. So this actually looks fun. This looks like an open world Batman game that we've been looking to get again after the Batman Arkham series that defined that. So there's no There's a coming soon. There's not a 2022 on Steam, but Game Informer seems to believe that it will release in 2022. I love Batman. There are 3 episodes of the Nerds by Screenlight that are talking about Batman and Batman Returns. So you should know I adore my Batman.
I like
and
Batman.
I love it so much. So this setting in Gotham with the other Batman guys will be a blast and a half. Okay. Any other games on your end, Chris?
There is one more. I finally remembered it.
Okay.
It's a game it's an older game called Fable.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So Fable, is it Fable 3 that's coming out?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, I played the original.
Yep.
And that game, oh my goodness, man, you can become the most evil person you can want to become.
Yeah.
It is nuts how evil you can become.
So the Fable series, I was introduced via Steam. And I bought Fable Anniversary. I haven't played a lot of it lately. I'm looking for Fable 3's release date. No. Fable 3 was 2010. Are we talking Fable 4?
I don't know.
Is that what we're doing here?
See,
or is it Fable 5?
Maybe it is Fable 5.
Yeah. Fable 4. Everything we know about Fable 4 release dates, platforms. Okay. So Fable 4 will most likely be released in early 2023, but it could be delayed into the late summer of 2023. Right. So it's been announced, I think, but it hasn't been previewed yet. But yeah, Fable there was so much freedom in those games. Between 1, 2, and 3, you could be good, you could be bad, and everything you did impacted the world. It was a very, very incredible RPG. Yeah. Unfortunately, the versions of it, the various versions, are not don't work on Steam or they're not available. So Fable Anniversary Edition is the only one that is currently available on Steam. It's pretty positive. I've played a little bit of it. I need to get back into it. But yeah, Fable. I'm looking forward to Fable 4. It's an RPG fantasy open world. I love open world and RPGs, so I will be in line for that. So I'm very curious to see how that works. Again, it could be great or it could be a disaster.
That's a fact.
That's the danger with these sequels. All right, I'm going to run through a couple of series. So Elex is a game on Steam that has a sequel coming out on March 1st, 2022. It's called Elex 2. The game on Steam is, how old is that thing? It is, Elex. Yeah, it's not cheap either. $50 on Steam.
Oh.
It came out in 2017, but it's a role-playing experience that is open world, that is single player, and that is post-apocalyptic. And it is a lot of fun. What I've played has been fun. I've really enjoyed playing Elex. It's in my library. I need to uninstall it, or I need to reinstall it and play a little bit more of it.
Yep.
But the fact is that we're getting a game from 2017 in 2022's gaming world with graphics. And so Elex 2 looks very interesting. And it's going to be for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. It's being put out by THQ Nordic, and developing it is Piranha Bytes. So I'm curious. The original game is a lot of fun, and it's very deep, and it's very entertaining. It's cool graphics. So I'm looking forward to see what they do with Elex 2. I would put that on your list if you were somebody like me, because it looks like a lot of fun. The only other one that I had is Kerbal Space Program 2, and so you weren't familiar with this, which is interesting to me. So basically, Kerbal Space Program is where you get to build your own space program. You have to launch your own, and it's all realistic. Like, you have to launch them, you have to use the right rockets, and you send these Kerbals to space, and you see if you can get them into space and, explore planets and all that kind of stuff. The Kerbal Space Program 2 is slated for 2022. If you go on Steam, Kerbal Space Program is $40 right now. I need to put it on my wish list. The complete edition is about $60, so there's a lot of different expansions and stuff like that. But it's a lot of fun. The recent reviews are overwhelmingly positive for Kerbal. It came out. Here's the funny thing: it came out in 2015. This game is 7 years old, and people are still loving it. So the sequel is coming. I don't know when that will be. It says 2022, so we'll see what shakes out with that. But it's as much as we kind of complain about the gaming world, there is a lot of possibility in what can be, in what is coming. There's a lot of cool games and a lot of opportunities and a lot of cool stuff still yet to come, and it'll be exciting to see how it all shakes out. I'm looking at the list of my games. Skull and Bones is a pirate game that has been sitting in developmental hell for years. They're slated to actually get it out in 2022. It's coming from Ubisoft, so I'm kind of worried. But my fingers are crossed. There's always Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt, which is the sequel to the game from a couple years back. And it's a vampire game, and it's going to be open world, and it's going to be interesting. It's for the PlayStation 5 and PC. And then, nope, we're not talking about Rainbow Six because nope.
Not happening.
No, just not my jam.
I like that. I do like part of that one though. Like the multiplayer when I played some.
Yeah,
it was all right.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
Yeah,
it's all right. Well, I think we've reached our fill. We've had our cake and we've eaten it too. We will probably next week talk about some of the games we mentioned that we should pick up. Like I might pick up Homeworld. I have it. I'm going to download it and play it. And so next week we'll see what we want to talk about. If you have ideas, if you have things that you think that we need to talk about, and you're like, hey, I want to know what you think about this, or hey, have you ever heard about this game? Put us on task and give us some homework. We're happy to have it. You can email adelayedteacher@gmail.com. And other than that, outside of that, have yourself a good rest of your day. We will see you next. My name is Aaron.
And I'm Chris.
And this has been the County Gamers. We'll see you in the next one.
Oh, yes.
You've been listening to the County Gamers Podcast, presented by Create at Morgan Productions, located in Fort Morgan, Colorado, USA. For more information on our production house, other podcasts that are hosted here, and further details, please visit www.createatmorgan.org. You can find us on Twitter at the handle CreateAtMorgan. Create at Morgan is a school club at Lincoln High School, our alternative education campus here in Morgan County. Our sponsor is Aaron DeLay, the language arts teacher at Lincoln. Send any feedback to adelayedteacher@gmail.com. Thank you for listening to our podcast.